Oi, how's it going, everybody? It's me, your boy Waddles. New Minecraft update, new iron farm. The 1.16 update changed villager iron golem summoning mechanics a little bit. The mechanics got a little bit easier, so that means it's time for an even easier iron farm. Today I have exactly that. This is definitely my most compact iron farm ever, and with that, my cheapest iron farm ever. This farm, though, definitely does not lack in efficiency. This is an efficient farm, and I don't know if I said it yet, but it's super easy to build. This won't take you very long to build in survival at all. Today's video is actually my first big 1.16 tutorial. Show us some love by hitting that like button down below and subscribing if you haven't subscribed yet. Now, let's slide over to the materials that you'll need to get to build this farm. Materials, let's talk about them. So, for this farm, you're going to need these things right here. And the top of the chest are materials laid out in what I think are exact amounts. Now, the fences. You could just use all wall blocks if you wanted to. I think, technically, you could use all fences too, but if you were going that route, you'd need all nether fences. Anyways, you could swap fences out for walls. The fences don't necessarily need to be the new nether fences. You could use spruce fences, that would be fine. You'll also need a fence gate, 7 hoppers, 2 chests, 3 beds, 6 signs, and a lava bucket for this build. Moving down to the middle of this chest, we have materials in non-exact amounts. The white concrete symbolizes building blocks. You're going to need about 4 stacks of building blocks on hand. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. 4 stacks should be pretty good though. You'll also want to have access to a couple of water buckets. Have those things ready. Now, for this build to actually work, for it to actually produce iron, you're going to need 3 Minecraft villagers, a name tag, and a zombie. That name tag is going to be for the zombie so it doesn't despawn. Now, I recommend having some of these things on hand to help get your villagers and the zombie into place, but these aren't 100% necessary. You could theoretically push your villagers and zombie into place. It's gonna be a headache, so maybe grab some of these things too. So location, where should you be building this iron farm? You're definitely going to want to build this iron farm somewhere where it will be loaded in a lot. If you want this farm to actually work and produce iron, you're going to need to have it loaded in, so maybe build it near your base. But with that being said, I recommend placing this iron farm at least 20 blocks above the ground. Don't build it right on the ground or your iron golems are going to go everywhere. That's going to be a headache. Also, make sure you don't build this farm in or near any existing villages. If you have villagers in a location, find a different spot for the iron farm. This farm should be isolated, at least somewhat. So first, find the perfect build site and go 20 blocks up off of the ground. 20 blocks off of the ground for us today is going to be right here above this dirt block. Place a block down. This block is going to be where your zombie will stand to power this farm. After placing a block down, place a temporary block on top of it, and then build some walls around this block. These walls should be 3 blocks high. You can build these walls out of anything, really. You could do leaves, you could do glass, whatever you want. The goal is to end up with something like this. Pretty simple. Now grab a water bucket and place it on that bottom block. We're going to have our zombie stand in water so it never burns up in the sun. We want to keep the zombie safe. If it goes away, the farm stops working. Now, after setting this thing up, we're going to need to pick a front side to the farm. The front side can be any side. For this build, we're going to make this side right here be the front. On every other side that's not the front, place a temporary block next to that bottom spot, then place a permanent block and get rid of the temporary block. Then place 2 more blocks just like that. Then we do it again over here, and then finally we do it again right over here. Skip the front side. Now, these spots over here are going to be where our villagers will live forever. So, we're going to want to place a bed facing the zombie, another bed, and another bed just like that. And then, we're going to want to get some walls around these areas. Now, the walls, again, can be built out of anything. You could do dirt, you could do cobblestone. Maybe don't do wood planks, though. There's going to be lava near this farm, and you definitely don't want this stuff to burn up. Now, on the villager rooms, just like the zombie room, you're going to want to build your walls 3 blocks tall. So after setting up your villager rooms, you should have something that looks like this. We have a water block surrounded by glass in the center, and then 3 rooms with the beds looking towards the water. Now it's time to get the things inside of this farm that are actually going to make this farm work. That means, first things first, zombie. Now, admittedly, getting the zombie inside of here in survival mode might be a little bit frustrating. To make this happen, I recommend building a staircase from the water cell all the way down to the ground, and then finding a zombie. Do this at nighttime. You're going to want to have the zombie chase you all the way up to the top. You might want to put some extra wall blocks here, and then you're going to try and get the zombie to fall into this hole. A trapdoor might help you out, but at the same time, a trapdoor might make it so the zombie can walk clean across this thing. How does it work? No clue. Probably hacks. Either way, though, you're going to want to get a zombie inside of this cell somehow. Then, after you get that zombie inside of the cell, right away, you are going to want to name tag the zombie. Now, very important, you want your zombie to be an adult zombie. If you have a baby zombie, this isn't going to work. The baby zombie is going to convert to a drowned, and also the baby zombie is just going to be way too short in the first place. You need an adult zombie. And again, right after you get your zombie inside of the cell, name tag it right away. If you use a name tag on a mob, like a zombie, it will never despawn. That's exactly what we want. Now, after you get your zombie inside of the cell, place a temporary block right on top of it just to prevent any accidents from happening. And so, with our zombie inside of the farm, that means it's time for the villagers. Now, the villagers might also be a little bit tricky to get inside of this farm. I recommend running a rail line up on top of this farm and dropping your villagers into each cell via minecarts. As soon as the villager is inside of the cell, take that boy out of the minecart. If the villager stays in the minecart, this farm isn't going to work. The villagers need to be free and able to walk around. For iron golems to spawn, villagers are going to need to sleep every once in a while. Which also means if you have game rule do daylight cycle set to false, your iron farm isn't going to work. You need a day-night cycle in your world for this farm to actually work. Anyways though, get a villager inside of each cell. Now Minecraft 1.16 made it so villagers don't need to work to spawn iron golems. So that's actually it for the villagers. You are entirely done with all villager things for this farm. Now we just need to set up the iron golem spawning area and removal area. So for the water that we're going to put on top of this platform in a little bit to actually flow properly, we're going to need to set up two different platforms on two separate levels. The first platform is going to be all the way over on one end of your iron farm. Technically, the end doesn't matter. It could be on this side, it could be on the other side. So long as the end is one of the long sides, if that makes sense. Now this platform should be 3 blocks long. You want to start it at the edge of your villager room and the front of your villager room and run it all the way to the back of this farm, the back of the last villager room. So it's going to be 3 blocks wide and 7 blocks long. Just like that right here. You don't have to build it out of gold, but we're going to build it out of gold because we can. Now, the next platform needs to go diagonally 1 block up. So we're going to build this platform out of netherite because big flex energy. This platform is going to go all the way down to this villager holding cell. And then, predictably, this platform is going to go all the way to the back villager holding cell. Then we're going to go ahead and fill everything in. So basically, we're going to end up with this raised platform that is 8 blocks long, and then this lower one that is 3 blocks long this way, 7 blocks wide. Now you should have something that looks just like this. Now we're going to need to get some sides on this thing so the water doesn't go everywhere once we put it in. To hold the water in that we're going to put on top of this platform, you're going to want either wall blocks or fence blocks. These blocks will be too tall for the iron golems to get over, so they'll just swim in the water. Start by placing a temporary block or a temporary fence on one of the corners. Then place a fence or a wall coming off of it and another fence or a wall coming off of it. Then go ahead and remove that fence block. Now, these fences, or again walls, need to go all the way along the edge of this platform. Where it dips down, you can go ahead and overlap your fences a little bit, or you can go ahead and skip it. I recommend overlapping them though, I think that's a little bit safer. I'm going to go ahead and go all the way just to keep things looking consistent. Now the corners are unimportant, you can definitely skip the corners. You're going to want to place these fences, or again wall blocks, on all sides of your platform other than this spot right here. This is where we're going to drop iron golems off of. Next up, grab a temporary block, place it down in the middle of the 3 wide platform, then place a fence gate right against it and open it. Then remove that temporary block. This gate is going to stop water from falling down into the lava area. So now we have something that looks like this. Now, there is something that you should know about these fences down here, but we're going to talk about it once this build is a little bit closer to completion, or once it's actually been finished. Alright, so now iron golem removal process. We need to get rid of them. Start by placing a wall block, and it's very important that it is a wall block off of this fence right here. Then go ahead and place 4 more wall blocks going down just like that. This should be 5 blocks tall when you're done with it. After that, go ahead and go 1, 2, just like that, and then fill this wall in. Now, technically, you could put glass panes in the middle of this thing if you'd like to see in. If you don't want to see in though, don't worry about it. Now go ahead and go over to the inside of this farm and place a wall block right there. Then go ahead and place 2 more coming out just like that. Then go ahead and place 4 more underneath all of those going all the way down. This is the chamber where we're going to get rid of our iron golems. After all of that, go ahead and place some more wall blocks on the front side and fill this in all the way. Now again, if you'd like, you could put some glass panes on the front. I think I like that idea, so we're going to go ahead and take these ones out right here and do a little bit of glass panes in there. This time around, we'll do plain ones. If you're going with a window, I recommend doing a 3x3, looks pretty clean. Now over here, on the back side, we do have an opening right here. To fix that, place a few more building blocks in here and make that solid. Now, just because I want things to look consistent, I like to go around and fill in the other corners as well. It just helps the farm look a little bit cleaner in my opinion, so do it if you want or don't, doesn't really matter. Anyways, back to the removal area. Place a chest right here in the middle and then another chest right against it, just like that, so you have a double chest. Then place a hopper right next to it. Then another hopper back here and another one back here. Then go ahead and fill in the rest of the floor in this area with even more hoppers. You should need 7 hoppers total, just like that. Now go ahead and go inside of this area and grab some signs. The sign should be right at eye level. So you see we're standing, this is where our head is. Yep, that's where the sign should go. Crouch and place the signs on top of each other so they go on top of each other. These signs are going to hold the lava up. Alright, so we have something that looks like that. Finally, lava time. Place a lava bucket right here in the back and let it flow. This lava is going to flow across this whole area. That's perfect. So now, with this whole farm built, the lava in and everything, it's time for the water. The water is how we move the iron golems over to the lava. You need one water source right back here in the center. That's going to go ahead and flow all the way over just like that. And then you need water sources all the way along the back side of this farm over here. With the water placed in correctly, you have water that starts at the back side and flows over to here and then flows over towards the lava. This will move all iron golems down into the trap. But one thing that you should know about these fences over here. So take a look at this wall block and then the fence in front of it. The wall block is a little bit wider than the fence. An iron golem could technically get stuck on this thing. If we were to move over here just like this, we're actually not going to fall into the lava. We are going to eventually get caught on this wall and stop moving. Now, because we're small, we would slide through there, but an iron golem cannot slide through there. Basically, what I'm saying here is an iron golem can get caught on this wall. To prevent that from happening, swap all of these fences out for wall blocks. This won't change a single thing about this farm. It'll only remove the whole iron golems getting stuck on that wall thing. This spot right here is another spot where an iron golem could potentially get stuck. If we were to move over this way, eventually we're going to bump up like that, and that's because of the wall. To fix that one, just remove the wall. That wall right there isn't that important at all. But with those fixes, this iron farm should pretty much be foolproof, which means it's time to actually get this iron farm running. To make this farm run, the villagers need to see the zombies. So we remove this block, we remove this block, and we remove that block right there. Sorry, villagers. Eventually, your villagers are going to move down, they're going to see the zombie and start freaking out like that guy right there. Eventually, at nighttime, your villagers are going to sleep. And once your villagers have all seen the zombie and had the chance to sleep, iron golems should begin spawning right above this platform. Now, one other thing that you may notice with this farm. If you leave this gap in here, I've noticed that iron golems sometimes get a little bit glitchy and somehow spawn in the floor. I don't know. I saw it happen like 2 or 3 times on that model over there. So to prevent that from happening, I recommend just filling this all the way in with building blocks as well. Just solid building blocks. Any blocks are fine. I don't know if what I saw was a weird one-off bug or what, but once I filled it in, I didn't see it anymore. So I mean, hey, filling it in can't hurt. It also makes it look a little bit more solid and, in my opinion, a little bit more good. But there you go. That is your entire Minecraft 1.16 iron farm build. This farm looks horrendous because of the blocks I used. Like I said, give it a little bit of time, let your villagers sleep, and then eventually this iron farm will begin producing iron golems. No drops will be burnt in the lava. The hoppers will pick up all of the loot and put it inside of this chest right here for you to collect. And so, that actually does it for my Minecraft 1.16 Iron Farm tutorial. This is an original design by yours truly. If you enjoyed this video, if it helped you out, or if you're using this design in your world, make sure you drop a like on this video. I would really appreciate it. On the end slide, I'm going to go ahead and leave my tutorial playlist. Inside of that playlist, you'll find all of the other tutorials that I've done. What tutorial would you like to see next? Don't forget to subscribe. Merch is down below the video. Links are all in the description. Today, big shout out to my patron, BrownBanana13. And until next time, stay fresh, gamers. It's been me, your boy Waddles. Goodbye.